What's going on, guys? Welcome to History Saver 1941. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel as always. And yeah, as you can tell, there's no intro to this video, nothing special about the introduction. I'm just jumping into it here. I want to give you guys kind of a little Q&A session. I want to give you guys an update as to what's going on. And first of all, why in the world have I taken another little hiatus from YouTube? I know you guys are probably wondering that, and should have explained that before now, but I didn't, and I apologize. But yeah, I need to explain myself now, I guess. So let's get into it. I've had some medical issues going on, nothing bad, nothing serious. Well, I mean, it's not good, but I mean, it's not bad either. But I haven't been feeling well for quite some time now. We've got it worked out. I had to get on some medication. The medication is one of those that's made me feel like crap too. Oh yeah, those who are wondering, I'm drinking Milo sweet tea. You gotta try this stuff. Anyway, back to what I'm talking about. Medicine had me feeling really bad, and then the wife's had some issues. She had to have a surgery. So, of course, my family takes precedence over YouTube. But you guys are my family, so don't get me wrong about that. I mean, yeah, I should have kind of let you know what was going on. It just all happened so quick, man. I mean, one day, you know, you're good, and next day, hey, guess what? Boom. That's pretty much how it happened. But we're good. Nothing serious, nothing bad. We're good to go. We're back online. We're good. The other thing is that, you know, between all of this, yeah, I got to make the film business run. The film business is, you know, what I do from work outside of YouTube, just like anybody else. I'm my own film business, and I also write, you know, quite a bit for some different publications, and I've had to keep all that going. I've got some very cool historical type content that I'm doing for the film company right now, and man, it's pretty neat. We're even, I can give you guys this. We're shooting a video right now, editing a video for the Air Force, the U.S. Air Force, on a fighter pilot squadron that a friend of mine is a member of. And they contacted me, wanted me to do their graduation video for the Air Force, sort of their fighter pilot squadron, you know, the class that she's in. You'll see the video here. I'll post it here so you can see it. Once we're finished here in a few weeks with that. But I do want to let you guys know what we have coming up on the channel now that we're kind of back online. In 2 days, we are flying to the U.S. Virgin Islands and British Virgin Islands, south of Florida, east of Cuba. I guess it's east of Cuba, yeah. But just a little north of South America. And we're going to check out some very cool places. We're going to be staying in a very old place, very neat place, and we're going to check out the sites of the U.S. Virgin Islands and British Virgin Islands, including some very cool World War II places that I'm very much looking forward to sharing with you guys. So that will be a probably series of videos. I don't want to make them too long. I don't want to keep you guys here for an hour or so. I'm trying to cut back on the time of my videos, because when I'm posting 30, 45-minute videos, you guys, I think, tend to get tired of watching it and move on to something else. You know, it helps if you watch the videos in their entirety. So that's kind of what I want to do, is have you guys watch the whole video. So I'm going to make them a little bit shorter and do segments. So we fly to the Virgin Islands this coming week, just in a few days, and we will be there for 4 or 5 days. So we're going to see a lot. We're going to do a lot. I'm going to take you guys along for the ride, and some very cool history travel type video there. But we also have another big opportunity coming on our channel, hopefully with a collaboration with one of my favorite YouTubers. He is massive here on YouTube. He is just absolutely fantastic, and I don't want to give it away right now as of yet until it is confirmed, hey, we're doing this with him. But he is my favorite YouTuber, and yeah, anyway, so it's going to be some cool travel type videos there, and he'll be filming a video, and I'll be filming a little bit. We're going to kind of collab on this thing, and it's going to be awesome. This guy travels all over the country, visiting historical sites, teaching people about history and preserving history. This guy's done so much work for kids. He has done so much work for the younger generation. He has done so much work to bring history to light and to lighten the minds of people about different historical places and events. And he is one of my role models as far as a YouTube channel. And I love every video he puts out and produces. So guys, you're going to love it. You're absolutely going to love it. And you've heard me mention this guy's name on my channel time and time again. So it's going to be a very cool experience. And I'll let you know more of that as it is confirmed that this is going to happen next month. So yeah, it's going to happen quick, and like in the next month or so, if not less. The other thing I want to let you guys in on is that we are getting set to do a little documentary for the film production company, and I want to kind of take you guys behind the scenes of this documentary, which will be perfectly fine because this is a documentary that I have written, this is a documentary that I'm producing, this is a documentary that I'm directing, and this is a documentary that I'm shooting and editing. So it's a team of one with a very cool documentary with some very cool people. You guys are going to enjoy it. So let's get into some Q&As now. I'll let you know what's coming up on the channel. Guys, I cannot wait to get to the U.S. Virgin Islands and share that with you this week. That's going to be so cool. So some Q&As. I want to put the person who asked the question and stuff up here. We're going to do another formal video, like I said, but I want to answer a few now. And, I can't really do that with the situation I'm in, and I want to get this video to you guys today. So I'm just going to answer a couple of questions that I remember being asked. And one of the questions that I get the most, whether it's by comment or by email, is why or what drove me into history? Why the interest in the history? Why there's so much different type of historical content on a channel? What's the deal? Okay, I cannot tell you when I exactly got interested in history. What I can tell you is that I was extremely young. I was between 5 and 8 years old when I first got interested in history. What I do remember is that for some reason the American Civil War captivated my mind, my soul, my attention. And then in a couple of years after I started learning about the American Civil War more, I started getting more interested into military history as a general, and different time frames like American Revolution, Creek Indian Wars, different time frames. So we basically set forth the idea to start reenacting. My dad took me to the Civil War reenactment, and I was hooked from there. I was 7 years old when I attended my first Civil War reenactment. I'll never forget, it was the reenactment of the Battle of Selma, Alabama. And at that event, I bought a Civil War shell jacket. My first piece of reenacting in my entire life was a Civil War shell jacket I purchased at Selma, Alabama. And this thing was cool, man. I mean, it was absolutely cool. It was a Confederate shell jacket, and it had the black eye buttons and was a butternut gray, and had the blue trim on the collar for infantry. And man, I fell in love. I used that jacket until I was like 13, 14 years old before I ever bought a new one. I loved that jacket. And I always wanted to keep that jacket with me, forever. But here's what happened. There was a little kid at a reenactment I went to, and he was just fascinating, man. He was like me, or remind me of myself. I was like 17, 18 when I met him. And he reminded me of myself. You know, I remember that age, and I remember seeing guys that had stuff and that I couldn't have because we either didn't have enough money to afford it, or because I don't come from a well-off family. I do pretty good now, but I don't have to worry now. But you know, growing up, we didn't have a lot of money. I grew up on the farm. I grew up farming. Grew up with my grandparents, my great-grandparents. I lived with them the majority of my life, I think, back and forth. And then, you know, if I wasn't at home with my mom and dad, I was over at my mama and papa's, or I was over at my great-grandma and papa's. And I was always between one of those three homes, and none of them had a lot of money, you know, so I couldn't really afford the things I wanted. And I remembered that when I met this kid, you know, and he was so dire and wanting to get in reenacting. He you know, was like me. He just, man, he loved it. He soaked it all in. So I gave him that jacket. So that's where that jacket is now. But the other things I remember getting interested in the history when I was young was Catherine Wyndham Tucker. Catherine Wyndham Tucker. Okay, there we go. She was the author of a book called 13 Alabama Ghosts of Jeffrey. And it was all a series of these historical ghost stories. Places that was haunted in Alabama. And that had these long histories behind them. And I literally read every single book she ever written. And the highlight, I think, was me getting the chance to meet her before she passed away. When I was like 14 years old, I got to meet this lady. And man, I still remember that where I met her and that day vividly. I mean, it was like meeting a hero to me. And yeah, so she was a big inspiration. Also, you know, I grew up with my dad reenacting. I grew up with my uncle reenacting. They were in the kind of mountain man stuff, so that drew me in some as well. But man, I just started reading. I read everything I could get my hands on. Civil War Times magazines, World War II magazine, military history magazine, books of all different assortments. Man, there's a lot of books I've read over the course of time. And, you know, that's the best thing. If you're getting into history, read as much as you can. Research as much as you can. And the number one thing that I use for research, and I love to read because it's accurate, is firsthand accounts from World War II soldiers and Civil War soldiers, even when I do Civil War, when I'm in a mood for Civil War stuff. But I got into World War II through my grandfather. He served during World War II, and I did my other grandfather serving in Korea. And I just remember, you know, I love the arms, I love the guns, I love the cannons, I love the tanks, the planes. But, you know, I didn't know much about the battles and what they actually did during the war, so I started getting more into that. And that just piqued my interest and drove me into World War II reenacting as well, and here I am. And my main love that I have in working in history, not only presenting the content to you guys because I want kids to get interested in history, I want to help drive that passion for them, like, you know, I had. And, you know, for some people, history is their thing, some it's not. You know, the military rations, they're a big part of history. I love reviewing those rations. I love the ration community. I love each and every person that I've came in contact with in a YouTube family through the ration community. And it's, you know, just press me forward. And then military rationing, man, the way it's been developed since early times of history is absolutely incredible. And it's nice to see what's still in there and what's been added. You know, everything has roots. And military rations, man, the crackers are the roots in the military rations. The candy is the roots of military rations. It's neat to me to share that with you guys. And plus, it's like every time you open up one, it's like opening up a Christmas package. You never know what's in this thing. I don't even like looking at the contents list on them. I mean, honestly, I just like to open it up and say, oh, what do we have here? Which is kind of what Minotaur, reason why I like Minotaur. You never know what's going to be in these things, man. Go check out Minotaur Trading Company, as always, guys. Black Belt Bob, great guy. Old Smokey, Dub C, Jacob Trays, Marilyn, Renee, Tracy. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. Uncle Les, Sunshine. I mean, yeah, the list just keeps going on. And there's no way I can mention every single person because I will sit here all day long. But yeah, it's truly fantastic. So that's the reason why for different content, because I just want to be diverse. I want to bring you guys something new, something fresh. I don't want the same old thing every video. And the rations have been the thing here lately. I kind of want to add in some more stuff. Anyway, what equipment do I use to film? That's another question I get. Well, I use the typical iPhone. I got an iPhone 12. I have a lot of plugins I purchased for it, a lot of different accessories I purchased for it, and it operates almost as a cinema camera. It literally, the quality of this thing is amazing, and I actually have programs where I can take footage off of here, match it into my bigger, more expensive cameras, and make it look exactly the same. It's just lighter weight, easier to handle, especially when you're on travel. Yeah, so I do use the iPhone quite a bit to film. I'm not going to lie. But I also have a Lumix GH5. I use that quite a bit. I have some Canon cameras I use quite a bit. I pair it with a Sigma 12 to 35 lens. It's an art lens. It's very expensive, but it's a great lens. But I also use those cameras on some of my bigger film shoots as well. I also film with a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K and 6K, which is a cinema camera that is for the more production value based videos, more like documentaries, things like that, the interviews. I use that camera. I also use GoPros. I have 7, 8, 9, and I've got, man, I don't know how many GoPros I've got now. I've got a lot of GoPros. So yeah, I mean, I have GoPros that I use, and those work amazingly as well for videos too. It's just all according to what situation I'm in as to what I'm using. Of course, you've got different microphones, and I'm not even going to get into all of that. If you want a good quality microphone, get a Rode mic for onboard, and the Rode wireless system you can't go wrong with. So there you go. I also have a full studio. So yeah, I mean, I got lights and the whole, yeah, I've got a lot of film equipment. I can't sit here all day and go through it all. Maybe in another video I'll just do, if you guys want that. How did I get into collecting? Okay, I've been doing that since I was a kid. I can't tell you how I got into it other than I was interested in history and I just started doing it. So, and you find all this stuff, man. You find all this stuff on eBay, Facebook. I find a lot of it on Facebook pages. And that's pretty much, there's a lot of websites I go to too. But eBay and Facebook are probably the two biggest. And yeah, so some of it I've found over the years. So I actually have some stuff I have found, like the bayonet, a lot of the Civil War bullets, just different artifacts for metal detecting and magnet fishing. And then those I will preserve. I've been trained how to preserve artifacts. I have did that for a job before, so I know the proper way to do everything and how it's supposed to be done. So yeah, I'm very based around how to do that. So for any of you guys out there, it's going to fall apart because you don't know the proper way to take care of it. Yes, I have worked in history my entire life for different sites and organizations and museums and you name it, and I've been trained how to take care of those. So yes, that's probably the number one thing that I focus my attention on. Prop making, how did I get into that? Well, through history again, research. I make movie props for different things and documentaries, and yeah, I have a lot of stuff I do. So, as far as research, someone asked me the question. This was a younger kid. He was like, how do I get into World War II reenacting, and what do I need to focus my research around? Okay. We're at 20 minutes. Yeah, this video is getting kind of long, so I'll hurry up. Anyway, that is probably one of the most asked questions that I get, honestly. Whether it's here on YouTube or if I'm out at a Living History event, I get asked this question a lot. And this is what I will say. For your kit for reenacting, where do you get the uniforms? Some of my stuff's original off of eBay. I use eBay for a lot of things. You can also find good reproduction stuff on eBay from other reenactors. There's Facebook pages that you can go to as well. World War II, buy, sell, and trade. Type that in your Facebook search bar. It'll bring you to a lot of different pages. Just request to get in the group, ask the questions, and then you can buy stuff off of there. And I get a lot of things off of there, but I also use sites like At the Front, What Price Glory, S&M Wholesale, World War II Impressions, Hessian, Antiques. Those are probably the biggest ones. And in order to know what you will need, it's really based upon what unit you join. And how do you find a unit? Facebook. Talk to guys, ask for, any units in your area, and I promise you someone will help you out or point you to someone that can. And then once you do that, you get in the unit, you want to start reenacting, they will help you figure out what impression you need. You'll need early war impressions, mid-war impressions, late war impressions, certain rifles for this, certain rifles for that, certain equipment for this, certain equipment for that, certain web gear, certain uniforms. The thing I suggest, if you don't have a unit, you want to start World War II reenacting, let's say, for instance, you want to do U.S. German, you really need to know what direction you want to go in before you start buying the stuff. U.S., you can kind of get away with a little bit because the most basic uniform you're going to need is a basic infantryman uniform package. So I suggest getting you a pair of wool shirt, wool pants, belt, rough outs, get your gaiters, or your leggings, whatever you want to call them. Get the proper ones. Make sure you're getting whatever it is that you need it for. And then getting your helmet, make sure you get the proper freaking helmet liner. And then get you an M41 jacket. That is the most common jacket that I can suggest. Every infantryman at some point probably had that jacket. So M41 jacket. Don't put patches on anything because you don't know what kind of patches you're going to need. You don't know who you're going to be portraying if you ain't already with the unit. So get that and get an M1 rifle, M1 web belt, first aid kit, the haversack. Do not get a musette bag. You won't need it starting out because that's for NCOs and officers and airborne. And, a canteen, mess kit, fork, spoon, plate. There you go. That's your basic package. And then find your unit. So you'll have just about everything you need to attend your first reenactment. Then you can just slap your patches on for whatever unit you join. Research. What do you research? First-hand accounts. That's it. Read unit histories, read reports. I scour through battle reports for I don't know how many hours. But the most important thing you can do is know about the men who fought there themselves. So, and that's what I do. First-hand accounts are my number one source. Those were the guys that were there. Those are the men who fought and died at these places. And yeah, that's what I read. Old photographs. And I love old photographs because it gives you hints and research on your kits, and yeah, you'll get into all that. So guys, I've told you what's coming on the channel. I've answered a couple of questions. This video is almost 30 minutes long. It's time for me to end it. I will see you guys from the U.S. Virgin Islands later this week. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that video with you guys, and I'm sure you are too. I'm so happy and thankful for each and every one of you. Don't forget about our contest running. See the video, go back, scroll back through, go to that video where it's a contest announcement for 1,000 subscribers, and that'll tell you everything you need to know. Guys, thank you so much for all the support, the love. Thank you for sticking with me, even though I've been on this 3-week hiatus, month hiatus. and I'm so excited to bring you content for the future. So until next time, keep observing history. Stay safe.